Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grandstand Sports Data. In today's video, we're giving you a round one betting preview between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. We'll be going over the statistical breakdown, the fundamental breakdown, then we'll be giving you our models predictions along with some of the betting lines from this series. So let's get right into it. Okay, so let's move on to the statistical breakdown here. And as you can see from the power rating numbers, the Kings are going to hold this slight edge here. I'm going to say in hockeyreference.com, they're tied for 6th, whereas Edmonton is 11th in the NHL. And then for us in Grandstand Sports Data, our power rating, we have the Kings at 8, while Edmonton is at number 10. LA looks better on the 5-on-5, as you can see, 3rd in the NHL. So 5-on-5 is pretty critical. Those metrics matter more come playoff time. That's just my opinion. Now, Edmonton has a solid power play since we're going to talk about the special teams, 12th in the NHL, but LA's penalty kill is 8th in the NHL, so top 10 there, and that could neutralize that threat. Neither team draws a ton of penalties, as you can see from these numbers, so likely this series will be 5-on-5 heavy, which I believe is going to favor the Kings. Moving on to goaltending, this is more of a team stat, so an accumulation, no matter who the goaltender was throughout the regular season. The edge here goes to the Kings. They're tied for 5th in the NHL, where Edmonton was 16th. Moving down to shooting and possession, these are some key metrics come playoff time. And the shot differential slightly favors Edmonton, but LA finishes their chances at an elite rate, number 1 in the NHL. The Oilers sit at the bottom here at 30th, which tells us they create chances but struggle to convert. So the final read that I get from these two teams is that Edmonton needs to win on the power play and hope their goalie doesn't sink them. He can't stink up the joint, Skinner. LA looks more balanced, better finishing, stronger goaltending, and more reliable in even strength metrics. So they're built for playoff hockey, believe it or not. Okay, so this is where it may tilt to the other side now, and that's with the fundamentals. So let's look at the coaching right now. Big edge to Edmonton here. Chris Knobloch, obviously, with 60% playoff win all the way to the finals last year, where Jim Hill is only at a 20% win rate in the playoffs. So coaching in the playoffs, just remember, is magnified, especially with those in-game adjustmts. Moving to player quality now. Oilers, they have that top-end talent. Do I even have to mention them? McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, they have elite Corsi 4 numbers and strong plus minus ratings. This is huge come playoff time. Now, LA's core is a little bit balanced, but they lack the game breaking possession numbers that Edmonton stars bring. So Kopitar is their only standout in this section here. Defense and depth. Now taking a look at that. Edmonton's blue line is a little shaky in terms of plus minus with guys like Nurse and Kulak in the red, but you don't know. We got to look at the other side, right? LA isn't much better. They do have more even keeled results, but not as top heavy and not as leaky. Moving on to the goalie matchup, it looks like Edmonton Skinner has been below average in the playoffs for his career. Quality starts at about 46%, whereas gold save above average is minus 8.4. So not the greatest there. But LA, not the greatest neither on their end. Kemper, he's slightly below average, and Riddick is, he's been a liability when called on in the playoffs. So this is basically a push at best when we're talking about goaltending. The final read that I get is that Edmonton has the coaching, top line, and puck possession edge. LA has more balance but fewer high-end difference makers, and their decor isn't that clean neither. Goaltending is a coin flip, which raises variance, but the Oilers have more upside when we're talking about fundamentals. Now moving on to some of the more profitable historical angles. So these are playoff tested trends. Each stat here has produced positive rate of return over the last 5 years when betting teams with that edge. As you can see, the edge for Edmonton, you're looking at Corsi 4 percentage. That's huge. That's when teams control possession like the Oilers. It's historically been profitable. Shot differential, so the high shot volume edge, it's going to equal high value in playoff betting. Corsi, that's a pure possession metric. So it's cash big bets. Oilers fit that mold as well. Then we have scoring chance percentage, which is quality over quantity. Edmonton creates the better looks. The minor edge in plus minus two, you could take that with a grain of salt, but Edmonton holds the edge there. Now, LA holds some edges themselves, right? The Kings have the edge in basically our power rating, SRS power rating with hockey reference. They got the goal differential, even strength goal differential, and then the penalty kill percentage, all with positive rates of return in playoff history. They also have some positive rate of return with our model's money line in model spread. So a little bit of a spoiler alert there. They both lean toward the Kings. That means LA consistently overperforms versus market pricing in similar playoff spots. Our final read here. Edmonton has the raw stat edge. The numbers bettors love, right? Shots, chances, Corsi. Those point towards the Oilers. LA, they fit the profile of historically undervalued playoff teams. Strong even strength play and good model alignment from us. So the true clash of model value and balance versus the statistical dominant and shot volume team. The right side depends on your betting style. That's what I would say to you. Depends on your betting style. If you like our model, you may lean LA. If you like some of the other metrics that are making you more money, you may lean Edmonton. Now, we're going to break down the overall moneyline performance for both of these teams throughout the full season. So, same record here, as you can see, 48 and 34, whereas Edmonton would be down $4.08 for every $1 bet. That's a negative rate of return of minus 5%. LA, same record, but they would have made $2.91 for every $1 bet. So that's good enough for a 3.5% rate of return. Edmonton's trends, as you can see it, despite a solid win record, they've been overpriced all season long. Bettors paid a premium and then basically lost money. So this is the classic case of a public team taxing the bankroll. Too much juice, not enough return. LA's trends over here, LA gave bettors a profit with the same record, which means they've been undervalued by the market. Strong second half push on the chart, so about games 70 to 82, they finished out the season with momentum. They closed the season hot both on ice and at the window. So the key takeaway here, Edmonton wins games, but not for bettors. They're consistently overvalued. LA is the value side in the market, and late season trends show sharp bettors are backing them. So if you're playing money lines and looking for price efficiency, LA looks like the better bet here. Okay, so let's take a look at the series betting lines for this matchup. Edmonton is the favorite here at minus 130 with a spread of about minus 1.5, and you can get that at plus 135. So the books are pricing in a tight but expected win. LA gets that plus 110 on the money line and that plus 1.5 on the series spread at minus 165. So the odds makers are giving them a slight underdog cushion. Looks like that the market is really telling you that this series is going to go deep. The model prediction that we have here is LA to win the series 4 games to 2. According to our 10,000 Monte Carlo simulations, we have LA winning 73% of them. So that's a strong lean. The model typically doesn't swing this hard unless there's real edge. So this isn't necessarily a coin flip by our numbers. Now, the model's picks is the king on the money line, kings on the spread, and they're both showing some value here, right? This isn't just about betting the underdog, it's about market inefficiency. That's what I want you to understand for the LA bet. It's market inefficiency. The model believes LA should be the favorite. So the final read here is that the model's back in LA heavily, and when you pair that with past money line performance and undervaluation trends, the bet lines up. The Oilers are priced like the better team, but the model says otherwise. Me, I would tend to agree. If you think that there's any slight edge for LA in this series, I would place that plus 110 number. I think this series is exactly what the market is telling you. It's going to go deep. Some puck luck may be involved. If you can find some factors in there that can push you towards that LA side, go for it. If you have some factors that push you towards that Edmonton side, I think that minus 130 number is not bad for them as well. So whatever edge that you find for either one of these teams, I'd say go for it. So like always, we'd like to thank you guys for watching. We hope that you got some awesome information from this video. Now, don't forget to subscribe to Grandstand Sports Data for more great shows like this one. Also, don't forget to give this video a like, share with your friends, and then leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win the series. That's all for now, and we'll see you guys in the next one.